we get into this one, we're gonna do a quick review. So now, if I ask you this question, how can I express 25 as a square? To express 25 as a square.
A square, 25 squared.
No, not
Square root.
Yeah.
5.
5 square, right?
5 squared.
So 25 is what? 5 square, right? But how did you know 25 is 5 square?
Because the square root of 25 is 5.
Because 25, so square root of 25 is 5. So you say square root of what? 25 and you square it, okay? It gives you that. So if I ask you 9, what do you do to 9? You know 9 is what?
It's 3
square. What did you do to get it?
I square rooted 9.
You squared off 9 and you square it, right?
Yeah.
You see, these ones are very easy to do. Why? Because they're perfect squares, right?
Yeah.
So now, let's say I ask you, how do you express 7 as a square?
Okay, so you'll have to do 7 squared.
7.
I'm not squared 7, like squared 7, and then you times it by
So square.
Wait, square 7 times squared 7 equals squared 49. Wait, no.
So let's go back to 25. How do we do 25? We say square root of 25.
Yeah.
And you square it. It gives you what? 5 square, right? Square root of 9. You square it, right? These ones are easy because they're perfect square. The same thing you do, you're going to say what? Square root of what? 7. And you square it.
Yeah.
7 is not a perfect square. So in this case, you have to leave it like this. So for, let's say, for 6. 6 is not a perfect square.
Yeah.
So you have to say what? Square root of what? 6 square.
Wait, how do you multiply?
You have 16.
So
16 will be what?
Square root 16.
So you said square root of 16 square, right?
Yeah.
Square root of 16 what?
Squared.
That's the process. And 16 is 16 a perfect square.
Yeah.
So we can make this look pretty, right?
Yeah.
So it becomes what? 4 squared. But look at 6. Is 6 a perfect square?
No.
So we have to leave it like that, right?
Okay.
So you have to leave it like that. So now keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind. And sometimes, let me show you this. 12. Let's say it's 12. What do? Square root of what?
12.
Square it. But we can simplify square root of 12 to 4 times what? 3. Is 4 a perfect square?
Yes.
So this becomes 2 square root of 3 squared. That's how you do it for that one.
So in places where you can simplify a square root, you simplify it.
Yes. If there's a perfect square that can go into it.
Okay.
So now, let's go into this one. Now we're going to be talking about what? Equation of a what?
Circle.
You have to kind of memorize this. So equation of a circle is always going to be what? X minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals what? Radius squared.
This equation reminds me of something in algebra.
What does it remind you?
I forgot.
Pythagorean theorem?
No, it reminds me of something in algebra, an equation that has the h and the k too, but it doesn't have an r.
Oh, it doesn't have a... So are you talking about vertex form of a quadratic?
Yeah, I think so.
Vertex form, okay, all right. So now, when it comes to equation of a circle, you see this h and the k. The h, this h
is the x and that is a y.
So the h is the x of the center.
Yeah.
And k is what?
Y of the center
of the circle, right? Just keep that in mind. So h is the fancy way to say, h and k is the fancy way to say x and y of the what? Center.
Okay.
You remember what I'm saying? So hk is a fancy way to say what? The x and y of the center of the circle.
Yeah.
Got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. So, and every time I do this, I like to put them in a box.
Box?
You're gonna see soon. I like to put this in a box like this. I like to put this in a box like this.
So you can put the x and the y into it, like
You see, it can
3. If the center is 3, -2, you put 3 here and a -2 over here, and then that just becomes a +2.
Exactly. You're gonna see what. And a radius too. I like to put this in a box
For the same
parenthesis for the same safety. Now look at this. Look at this. What do you see? Tell me what you see.
So I first see the center dot over there.
So this is the center, right?
Yeah.
So your center is what? 0, 0, right?
Yeah, 0, 0.
Center is 0, 0 because it's at the origin, right?
Yeah.
Now look at the radius.
Yeah.
Let's count the radius. Let's count.
1, 2, 3.
You can count that way. You can also count this way.
1, 2, 3.
You can also count this way. 1, 2, 3. You can also count this way. 1, 2, 3. So either direction you count, your radius is what? 3.
Isn't the diameter these both radiuses?
So you count all the way from diameter will be from this end to this end. So which would be what? 6.
6. Okay.
So but in this case we just need the radius. Now remember, how do we write the equation of a circle? So
you
it's
have
gonna
to
be
do
what?
x
Parentheses what?
x minus
what?
0.
X h.
Oh, you mean that way?
H parentheses square plus parentheses y minus
k.
K square equals what?
R
Radius square.
squared.
Now keep in mind, it's x minus. So what goes in the box? Don't forget, this is the h.
Yeah.
And this is what? The
K.
Don't forget, I told you this is the x and y of the center, right?
Yeah.
So what is your h?
Your h is 0. But won't that mean that you'll simplify it to x squared? X squared?
Yes. So what is your y?
Y minus 0.
Minus 0 square, right? And what is your radius?
Radius is 3 squared.
3 square, right? So that's why I like to put this in the box. So you have to pretty much you're just replacing what's in the box, right?
Yeah.
So now, but we can simplify this
Even
a little
further.
bit better because x minus 0 is just what?
X squared.
Plus y minus 0 is what?
Y squared.
And we can write 3 squares what?
9.
So on your multiple choice, be careful. One of your option might be x squared plus y squared equals 3. It could be x squared plus y squared equals 6. Be careful, okay?
Yeah.
Watch out for that. Now, let's look at this now. They want us to write the equation for this. Again, what is the equation again? Parentheses.
Parentheses
X minus h parentheses square plus parentheses y minus k square equals radius square. Remember, this is your h, and this is your what? K, and that's your what? Radius. You see, I like to do it this way. So now, what goes in the first box?
It goes 2.
What goes in the second box?
3.
And what goes in the last box?
4.
Now let's make this look pretty. So the pretty way to write this would be what? X minus 2 square plus y minus 3 square equals
16.
16. You can write it that way. Got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Let's go to the next one. The next one, what is the setup again?
X
Parentheses
x minus h or box square plus parentheses y minus k squared equals radius squared.
All right, this is your h, this is your k, and that's your radius, right?
Yeah.
So what goes in the first box?
-1.
-1. So keep that in mind. Let me change the color so you can see. -1. What goes in the next box?
4.
What goes in the last box?
2.
2. Can we make this look pretty?
Uh-huh.
So you can picture this as a parenthesis, right?
Yeah.
So let's write this the pretty way. X
Plus
plus
1
square plus parenthesis
y minus 4
parenthesis square equals 4.
Why does a negative times a negative
Okay,
equal
I'm gonna
a
teach you something
positive?
right now. When you multiply or divide, same signs positive, different signs negative. Let me quickly show you. That's a quick negative.
Oh yeah.
Negative
Isn't
times
it
negative times negative is what? Positive.
Positive.
Positive times positive is what? Positive.
Positive.
Negative times positive is what? Negative. Positive times negative is what? Negative. So you don't have to memorize. So you gotta remember when you multiply. The same thing applies to when you divide. When you multiply or divide, when the signs are the same,
Yeah.
it's always gonna be what? Positive. When the signs are different,
it's always gonna be negative.
Okay, got it? So when you multiply,
Because let's say if there's 2 negatives, you turn around and
that's
then
for
you
addition.
turn around
That's the
again.
addition. That's addition and subtraction. That's for addition and subtraction.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now let's go now. Now this one, they give us the graph.
Yeah.
Now we have to write the equation.
Okay.
Now, but before you write any equation, remember what does the equation looks like? It's what? Parentheses what? X minus h parenthesis squared plus
parentheses y
minus k parenthesis square equals what? Radius squared. So let's do a first. So we need for a, this is a, okay?
Yeah.
So we need the
center.
We need the center, which is we need the center, which is what? H, and your what? K. And we need the what? The radius. Now let's look on the graph carefully. Let's find the center first.
It's -4.
Let's count it. -1, -2, -3, -4, right?
Yeah.
And let's count -1, -2, -3, -4. So your H and K is -4, -4. Did you see that?
Yeah.
-4, -4. Now let's count the radius. I'm gonna zoom this so you can see. Look at this. What is your radius? Radius is from the center to what? Any of the end point, right? Remember how we counted the radius before? Now let's count.
1.
Did you see that?
And you won't even have to square it because 1 times 1 is 1.
So your radius is what?
1.
And all you have to do right now is what I call plug it in.
And plug it in.
So it's parentheses x minus box. Remember, I always like the box.
-4.
Be careful. Take a chill pill.
Okay.
X minus box parentheses square, right?
Yeah.
Plus y minus box parentheses square.
Yeah.
Equals box square. What goes in the first box?
-4.
-4. What goes in the second box?
-4.
And what goes in the last box?
1.
1. Now we're gonna write this the pretty way. Always do this so there will be less room for error. What do I say? Always do this. There will be what?
Less room for error.
So picture this as parentheses, right? Parentheses. So now this is what? X plus 4 square plus parentheses
y
plus
4 square.
And 1 square is the same as what?
1. It seems easy.
Okay. Let's do now. We're gonna do B now.
Yeah.
So for B, now let's find the H and K of B. So the H and the K for B and the radius for B. So let's find the H and K. 1, 2, right?
Yeah.
And 1. So what is your H and K for B?
The H is 2. The K is 1.
H is 2, the K is what? 1. And let's count the radius. Remember how to count the radius from the center.
1, 2.
2. Either way you count, up, down, it's always going to be what? 2. And now let's go back to the templates. What is the cheat code?
The cheat code is X,
parentheses
X minus
box
parentheses
square
plus
parentheses y minus box parentheses square
equals
box square. That's the cheat code.
Yeah.
So now what goes in the first box?
The first box goes a 2.
The second box
1.
And the last box?
The last box is 2.
2. The radius, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now let's see. I don't think we have to fix anything here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just x minus 2 square, right?
Yeah.
Plus y minus 1 square equals what?
4.
Got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Got it?
Mm-hmm.
So you understand how to do this now, right?
Yes. And it's the same thing for drawing a circle.
Yes, same thing. Now, look at this now. They want us to do this. This one is a little bit challenging, but I will tell you this. You still have to use the cheat code so you don't mess up.
Okay.
To do this, you need your H, your K, right?
Yeah.
Which is the X and Y of the center, right?
Yeah.
And your radius.
Mm-hmm.
Let's use the cheat code. The cheat code again is X minus box.
Why do you have to use the cheat code for
You
this
see,
one?
you see.
This
The first
one
time you
can
do
just
it.
guess.
Oh, no guessing game here.
Uh-huh. Y
Minus. That's a cheat code. Always use the cheat code.
Cheat code seems a little slow on this one.
Okay, yes, it does, but be careful. Now, look at this.
Yes.
X minus. Let me change the color. What goes in this box?
2.
Now, look at this one. The cheat code said you have to have a minus next to your y. But when you
Yes.
check the question, you see a plus here. So what can you do?
You can do it minus 1.
Minus 1. And put it a minus 1 here. You still keep it. It's still the same question because negative times negative will give you what?
Positive.
Remember that. All right. So what goes in this box?
Oh,
here?
you square root 9 and that
Square root
gives
of 9 gives you.
gives
So square root
3.
of 9 gives you what?
3.
You see, this helps you a lot.
No,
But the first time you do it, you have to do it this way so it's easier. So your H is what? 2. Your K is what? Negative 1. And your radius is what?
3.
3. So be careful here.
Mm-hmm.
So to graph it, let's go 2,
Negative 1.
So from the center, right?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Let's count that from the center. 1, 2, 3. From the center, this is center, right?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. From the center, 1, 2, 3. Did you see that? So this will be your templates to follow, right?
Yeah.
I know it's not. This is the templates to what?
Follow.
Got it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's go to the next one. Again, you have to do your cheat code. I know you know it. You gotta do your cheat code.
Even someone who doesn't even know the cheat code would just know that the X.
Well, everyone can say it. Okay, what is the cheat code again?
X minus box parentheses squared plus Y minus box parentheses squared equals parentheses box squared.
So now let's figure out what goes in the box. So look at this.
Yeah.
Is anything next to X and Y?
Nope.
So if they don't see anything next to X and Y, guess what goes in the box?
0.
If there's nothing next to Y, guess what goes in the box? 0. Now, how do I express 25 as
Do you
square?
divide it by...
You
I mean,
divide-
you not divide, you square root it.
So what is square root of 25?
5.
5, right?
Yeah.
So your H and your k is what? 0, 0, because that's what goes in the box. This is your h, this
Yeah.
is your k, right? And your radius is what? 5.
5.
So let's go. How do we do this? What is your h and k?
Your H and K is 0, 0, so
The
you place
origin,
it
right?
on there.
And you count 5 up,
5 left,
down, left.
right.
So if you do all that, lucky for us, we are the origin and this, right? So it's gonna look more
round.
like this. I know it doesn't look, it's not to scale, but it's to have an idea, right? Okay, that's how we do this. Now let's look at this one. Again, we have to use the cheat code again. What is the cheat code again?
X
parentheses.
parentheses X
X
minus box parentheses squared plus parentheses Y minus box square parentheses squared equals box squared.
Okay. So what goes in this box? This box here.
2.
2. What goes in this
0.
box? 0. And
2.
what goes? 2. So your h and k is what?
2, 0.
0. You see, the box makes it easier because sometimes negative will go in the box. Okay. And your radius is what?
4.
4. Is your radius 4?
No, 2. 2.
Remember, your radius is what's
2.
in the box.
2.
See what I'm saying? You see why you need to set up your cheat code. This is your h, this is your k, and this is your what? Radius. So now let's 2, 0, right?
Yeah.
2, 0, right? And the radius is 2, right?
Yeah. Up
1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Did you see that? So
could I try drawing a circle?
okay, yes. Please.
Okay. Alright, done. Oops.
It's okay, it's okay. Put the return. Do the return. Okay, that's good. Good. I like this one. Okay, so now let's say we have this one. Parentheses x plus 4 squared plus parentheses y plus 2 squared equals, you don't have to sketch this. I just wanted to tell me the h and k, the center and the radius. 6.
Okay.
So how do we do this?
So the h and k is
Where's the
negative.
cheat code? Cheat code.
Cheat code.
See.
That's
good.
X minus box parentheses squared plus y plus minus box parentheses squared equals box squared.
So everything that goes in the box will tell you exactly what you need. So now, what goes in the first box? Hold on.
-4.
-4, because you want to end up with +4, right?
Yeah.
Negative, right, gives you a plus. You want to end up with plus, right? Again, right? Negative gives you another what?
2.
And guess what goes in this box for the radius?
6 square root 6.
Thank you. Square root of what?
6.
Remember that. Square root of 6. It's not just, you have to go through the process. Even if it's 9, you say square root of 9. But you can simplify that one. Can we simplify square root of 6? No, it's not a perfect square. So you can see your h and your k is what? -4, -2, and your radius is what? Radical 6. Always say square root of 6. That's how I would say it in college. Radical 6.
Radical 6?
Radical 6. Square root. Okay? Awesome. Good job, son.
Thank you.